One of the biggest changes in our finances wasn't making more money. It was learning how to prepare the month before it started. This is how I set up our budget and reset our home so the month feels calmer and more intentional. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Cubatis, and today I'm walking you through my month ahead budget setup and a simple home reset. And this rhythm is what's helped us to stay 1 month ahead, even in seasons where life feels unpredictable. I always start off with the money part and setting up the budget. Then I move into the home because these two areas support each other. Before I write down any numbers for the bills, I do take a look at the calendar. And here I am using a blank calendar, so I need to put in the dates first. But this helps me to see what the month is actually asking of us. I go through and see what types of appointments or events are coming up and anything that's outside of our normal routine. That way I can get into what we normally have coming up. Having that clarity here where I'm on my monthly dashboard, it helps me to plan with intention instead of having to react to things coming up later. Next, I go over our fixed bills and our known income. And because we're a month ahead, this money is already here and in the accounts. So I'm not budgeting for future paychecks or guessing what's coming up. And because we have a lot of stuff on our calendar right now, especially for this month, being able to have this, like right now, I'm doing like a color coded system because my husband and I have a lot of appointments this month. And just doing it this way is helping to remove a lot of the stress that could potentially come up by thinking you're missing any type of appointment or anything like that. So I write these out on the notes and then I'll write them also in the dates because these are usually some sort of copay because with insurance nowadays there's going to be copays along with everything. So then I just make sure all of that information is included. So after going over the fixed bills and the variable expenses, the fixed is your mortgage, your insurance. The variable, the things that can vary is your groceries and actually utilities. I give myself a roundabout amount, but it's actually variable. It doesn't stay the exact same. After I do all of that, I just make sure that I've assigned the money to the category. And I know I did a video last week on how I set my week up. So then that's really what I do is I go in every week and I make sure that the funds that need to be available for that week, I make sure that they're in the proper account so that the money can be sent over because most of these bills nowadays are electronic. For the variable spending, where I will be assigning money into envelopes, I use like the bills breakdown so that I can know exactly what denominations I would need. And this would go for, your giving. But those are my tithes. So the 10% comes off the top. And then, for your household needs, if you have some sinking funds and I'm trying to get another month ahead. And then for like doing savings challenges, your groceries would go there into the envelope, however much you use. Currently, I am doing a different app. I'm using this PayPal because it gives me back 5% when I purchase my groceries. So that's what I'm currently doing for my groceries. But even if it was cash, I would just be making sure that every dollar that I am using, because I do use the zero-based budgeting system, making sure that every dollar has a purpose before the month begins. That way I'm not wondering where the money has gone. And I use like the envelopes and the placeholders when I'm dealing with like my month ahead. That way I can visually see what's already been funded and what money has been prepared for those envelopes, or because there's a set amount that I want to reach as far as goals go for my month ahead. And I will link some things below, some tools that I am currently using, and even show you where I have some freebies that you can go over onto my Ko-Fi shop to use. Another way that I'm staying consistent with my budgeting and month ahead process is I use savings challenges. It's like my favorite thing right now. And I use them so that I'm not pressuring myself, because I have done that before as well with the savings challenges. But right now I'm using them as a gentle way so that I can build progress over time. And I just love seeing the money and the progress just happening as I'm going. It's like small, steady steps, and that's what's helping me to stay a month ahead and on top of the budget. And just seeing it progress that way is also helping me. I just know where I am in life, and I know where we're going and where we've been. So this is a way that I can see it visually and know that that part of the budget and that part of where our goals are actually being reached. Once the budget is set, that's where I move into a simple home reset. When the home is prepared, it's much easier to stay aligned financially because it all goes in together. Like I talked about the doctor's appointments or kids' events. So, what I do, I look at the upcoming week and I see what the meals can be for us, what type of appointments we have, and like the school events that they may need something for, like I know, like any type of trips and just anything we'll need to be ready for, like I say, the co-pays at the doctor's visits, any type of events for the kids school, any type of clothes or special things that they may need. And this isn't about doing everything, it's about removing unnecessary friction before the week starts. For example, I was up getting ready to get to my appointment. I was trying to get the girls ready and everything. And then in the back of my mind, this was a couple of weeks ago, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I think my husband has an appointment. So now doing that, I would have to rearrange how the girls are getting to school. Now, who could come and help us to get my husband because he has the wheelchair? The vehicle would have to be enough. There's just so many things that would go into it. And this was at like the last minute, my mind started thinking about this. Whereas, had I just paused the night before, and so I'm saying this to say it's not always perfect. Had I just paused at least the night before to make sure all of that was in set. And I was calling around to the doctor's office. It was just too much to be trying to do when you're already trying to get, several people out the door and to school, to doctor's appointments on time. And now my mind just went back to, oh my gosh, I think we're about to miss an appointment. And then now I'm at my doctor's appointment waiting, right, in the waiting room. And that's when they decided to call me back to give me what his actual schedule was. So those are the things when I'm doing the home reset that in my mind I'm just going over, or I'm writing on the calendar now. And that's when it comes to the appointments. In home, I focus on some small resets, making sure that I'm clearing some surfaces because, sometimes my energy is lower, and, or, catching up on your laundry, or just making sure, like all the basics are in place, that we have everything we're going to need for the upcoming week. Preparation brings peace even in busy seasons. And that's where being 1 month ahead has given us more than financial margin. It's given us, mental and emotional breathing room. I know I talked about this before. It's helped me to move through each month with less stress and just being more intentional. And for me, preparation has been one of the ways God has brought peace into our home. And if you're working toward being 1 month ahead, I hope this encouraged you to start where you are. Progress doesn't happen overnight, and small steps are very meaningful. So thank you for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, may your home and your budget be filled with peace. Bye.